Hello and good afternoon. You're watching MF Corner. I am Sumera Abdi. On the show today, everything you ever wanted to know about investing in flexi cap funds. Joining in is the team from Axis Mutual Fund, Jinesh Gopani, the head of equity, and Shreyash Devalkar, senior fund manager equity and the fund manager of the Axis Flexi Cap scheme. So, gentlemen, good afternoon to both of you. Thanks very much for joining in. And just before we begin, a quick note to our viewers: the Flexi Cap category is what was created. When new rules were announced for the multi-cap funds, right, where it became very strict that you must have 25% each into large cap, mid caps, and small caps. Then there was a demand that a fund manager needs some flexibility to move across. So the flexi cap category was created, and actually it's become very, very popular because now the flexi cap category is second in size only to large cap funds. And a lot of money has been coming in. I mean, you see the flows coming in incrementally. It increases every month. And of course, last month was an aberration because there was an NFO. But Jinesh, I want to come to you first on just this, the money that's chasing flexi cap funds. I mean, what's the reason behind this frenzy?
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. I think there are a set of investors who would like to participate in all cap stories, and FlexiCap is one of the best product. I would say it is in a way it is a multi-cap strategy which allows fund managers to have a flexibility in terms of positioning his portfolio depending on the market conditions, depending on the valuations. And what we have seen, frankly, is the while not taking a higher beta on the portfolio and while not taking higher risk on the portfolio, the ability is there of this product to outperform the indices over a longer period of time. So I think it gives a lot of flexibility to the fund manager to maneuver depending on the market conditions, depending on the valuations among different categories of market caps.
Okay. No, I take that point entirely, Jinesh, that, I mean, even to my mind now, it remains the only category where the fund manager has complete freedom to exercise the philosophy, right? But if I compare it to its closest competitor, which is, say, a large cap fund, even over there, the requirement is that, the scheme must invest minimum 65% in large cap, the rest can be in whatever. So, which means you can even go up to 100% in large cap if that's the call, right? Therefore, Shreyash, my question is to you, is there really that much differentiation between a large cap fund and a flexi cap fund? I mean, don't both offer the similar kind of flexibility? And therefore, is the risk reward for flexi cap better?
Sure. First of all, just observation here is in case of large cap as a category, the large cap has to be 80 or more, and that's where the difference is. So large cap funds would have 80% or more large cap, and you would find typically any large cap fund would have 85, 90, 95% large cap. When it comes to flexi cap, then flexi cap there is no restriction. So you can have theoretically 100% small cap, theoretically 100% large cap, and then based on individual fund manager's view, he can have whatever percentage. But again, as Jinesh was highlighting, these allocations to the market cap in flexi cap fund especially are more driven by which companies are good irrespective of their market cap. So you may end up having someone may end up having a 100% small theoretically again, and someone may end up having 100% large. And that's where in this category you will notice the funds have diverse nature of holding.
Okay, no, I take that correction. You're right. I just checked SEBI's website again. It is minimum 80%. So I take your point. Jinesh, so therefore, like we have this dynamic allocation, right, in debt funds. The flexi cap would be the equivalent of that, right? That the whole thing is dynamic. Then does an investor need any other scheme? Because anyway, whatever is the requirement according to the current market environment will be met by a flexi cap scheme. So therefore, is it a core portfolio holding or is it the only portfolio holding?
See, it depends on the risk appetite of an investor. While we talk about dynamic, It is more of an investor who wants to test waters into the equity market while not taking excessive risk in the market. So he tries to invest into dynamic equity allocation where, let's say, 50-50 is debt and equity, or maybe 70-30, 70 is debt, 30 is equity. Whereas flexi cap is maneuverability between the different market caps. So I think the risk appetite is totally different. A person who doesn't want to, let's say, go into a very high risky strategies, which is a mid cap and a small cap only kind of a strategy, I think that is where this flexi cap as a cap.
Okay, I think we've lost that link with Jinesh. Shreyash, just taking this point forward, is there, what is a portfolio built around a flexi cap scheme look like? Like I asked Jinesh, is it a core portfolio holding or should it be the only portfolio? Also, how does it work if you have passive mix? What is the place that a flexi cap fund should have in a person's portfolio?
Okay. So ideally, whenever someone is allocating his own asset, then when one decides that he want to assign 100 to say equity as asset class, then if someone is clear in his mind that he want XYZ% in large caps, so hypothetically he want 50 large, 25 mid, 25 small, then it is always better to choose an individual category. Then you are clear in your portfolio that what you are owning in each particular category. When if someone is not clear in his mind that I whether I want large cap how much or mid cap how much and small cap how much as a portfolio for himself, then in such a scenario, the flexi cap fund plays a role wherein the fund manager decides in whatever his best interest understanding at that point in time what is the right allocation. But frankly speaking, as since I am handling the flexi cap, generally, I rarely tend to shift from a market cap perspective. These choices are more on a bottom-up basis, whether any individual company or any individual sector is emerging on its own. So it may happen that a sector like say chemical, which earlier was a small cap, now it is some of them are large cap also. But any subsector, if it is emerging, and then it may happen that all of the companies are in the mid cap, and you end up buying that. So those things may happen, but just based on the view that now large or mid will work, and that's where I want to have more in small and large. That is easier said than done, actually, practically.
Okay, so basically, every decision then boils down to what are the fundamentals of the company and which is, the sector, stocks and focus, etc. And by the way, I must mention to viewers who are watching that the flexi cap fund falls under the very high risk category, and I think both Jinesh and Shreyash have alluded to that as well. Jinesh, since we now have the flexi cap category, for once, initially we thought that there would be no further need for a multi-cap fund, but now we're seeing a lot of NFOs coming out for multi-cap funds as well, and there is appetite for that. How does it work? If you have a flexi cap fund, do you even need a multi-cap fund from an investor's point of view?
See, multi-cap is more of a very targeted approach that I will have 25, 25, 25 as the regulator has decided. So I think 25 in large cap, 25 in mid cap, and 25 in small cap, and balance 25 I can invest across. So I think it is more of a categorization, I would say. Not much changes to our opinion, but it is a category which has come after what happened in the flexi cap category. So I think it gives more choices to the investor. And again, it all depends on the risk appetite of the investor, where he wants to put money. But I would say by and large, it would be more or less the same.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a very quick break. On the other side, we're going to find out how exactly rebalancing is done. Does size matter in a flexi cap scheme, and lots more. Stay tuned. Jinesh and Shreyash are going to be with us. Hi, welcome back. You're with MF Corner, and today we're discussing flexi cap funds with the team from Axis Mutual Fund. Shreyash, I wanted to check, since the whole USP seems to be that there is this freedom to move between stocks, etc. How often would you look to, turn over stocks, rebalance it? Is it dynamical? Is it done at fixed intervals? What exactly is the process?
Sure. So when a flexi cap, we read that as a category. I When I try to look at as far as allocations are concerned, it's very difficult to take a call that now large or mid or small cap it will work relative to other category, and then change accordingly in the fund. So way I would look at it is, in the flexi cap category, I am not constrained by a market cap definition to own or not own a particular stock. So that flexibility one gets is the flexibility which FlexiCap fund offers for us as a investor and fund manager. I would not rather get into a dynamic allocation to a market cap based on the view that in a particular time the large cap will do better in a particular market, mid cap and small cap will do better, and then shift accordingly. Those things, as I said, are very easier said than done.
Okay, no, I take the point that this shift may not be just strictly according to market cap, but because the flexibility is there, I just wanted to know if there's a higher turnover of stocks in flexi cap, say, as against any other scheme.
No, it's not necessarily because of this reason. So since other funds which I manage, broadly the philosophy remains same, that any individual company you buy is based on its growth prospect and its management and how it shapes up on those count. If there is any change in the growth prospect outlook, then you end up buying or selling the stock. So that process remains same irrespective of the category. So I don't think there is any need to consider higher churn in these compared to others.
Jinesh, there's international allocation as well in FlexiCap. So how does an investor, judge between different schemes? Should it be the ability to, the consistency of holdings, or should it be the agility that a fund manager has in terms of, moving on to the next big thing?
Obviously, agility comes once in a while if something is going wrong in the market, and if fund manager is taking that on. Otherwise, we should have consistency. When we have to choose.
Okay, I think we'll try to re-establish that line with Jinesh. But Shreyash, you yourself manage a scheme which is 10,000 crores almost, and then we have flexi caps which go all the way to 40,000 crores. Does size matter in terms of being able to manage a scheme more effectively?
When it comes to this as a category, and since it offers actually you flexibility, that technically the size need not matter, because you are buying companies right from 10 lakh crore to probably 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 crore. So you have a wide bouquet of so you're not restricted. So if you're handling probably only small cap and the size is say 30,000 crore, then obviously it may because the market caps you are buying are totally different compared to the size of the fund. Here in this situation in the flexi cap category, because you are buying across market caps, technically you are actually having a lot of things to choose from, and it need not matter. And more often than not, what at least I've observed is over a longer term size don't matter, in a sense, because over a longer period of time, if you're buying right companies and holding it, and the companies are actually doing as expected, then actually the size probably don't matter as we expect.
So when an investor wants to choose, I mean, now I think practically everybody has a flexi cap scheme or is looking to launch one. So when an investor is looking to invest in a scheme or they want to select one, would the most important decision be the skill of the fund manager?
In case of flexi cap, I would say that I would go back to my earlier point what I made, that it should depend on what is your asset allocation call. So if the investor is clear in his asset allocation call based on his appetite, that if he wants a 50, 25, 25, then he should ideally choose a best large cap, whichever he likes, best small cap, whichever he likes, best mid cap, whichever he likes. So that gives you a best portfolio, gives him a best portfolio, or probably a mix of best funds in his portfolio. So that would be the ideal situation. But if someone want to have a more diversified fund, in that case, the flexi cap comes into picture. But I would look at it as a more diversified holding, wherein you are agnostic to taking such a risk calls, because it may be right or wrong to choose between large, mid, or small. Someone may say that yes, I want to own India, and it doesn't matter which market cap I am in. In that scenario, actually, the flexi cap fits in, and here then obviously you might have observed that this category of the wide array of choices, and accordingly the different funds gives you different actually risk appetite, as well as in the same category the different funds are giving you a different risk appetite and different bouquet of stocks.
Okay, we have Dinesh on the line with us again. Dinesh, let me go back to the question I was asking you that, since we're talking about how to select a fund, and there is international exposure too in flexi cap funds. So what does a person look for? Consistency of holdings, quality of holdings, fund manager, agility. What will be the most important factors?
See, I think everything is important at a point of time. Overseas investment is what we always say, that there are business models available to participate globally, then why not take the advantage of it? Also, during the drawdowns in the market, we have seen that sometimes the domestic market drawdowns are higher than the global drawdowns, and hence that would also help keep the risk under check. If, let's say, a single country goes under down, let's say India market goes down for some domestic reason. So I think consistency of investment, as Shreyas has been saying, I think is very, very important for this fund, so that the investor knows what the fund manager is doing and what kind of consistent return he can deliver over a period of time.
All right, Dinesh, Shreyas, thanks very much for joining in and for explaining the nuances of how a flexi cap fund works and what it means for retail investors. We're out of time on MF Corner, but do stay tuned in. The team of Closing Bell joins you next.